I'm going to guide you through Indiana Dunes National Park and give you some tips as well as tell you the top sites to see here at Indiana Dunes National Park. Indiana Dunes became a national park in 2019 as the 61st national park of the United States. Before it became a national park, it was a national lakeshore. It just missed the top 10 in visitation, coming in at number 11 with 2.3 million visitors in 2020, just ahead of Yosemite. The high visitation is probably because it is so close to major population centers of the Midwest. Now, as the name implies, Indiana Dunes is about the dune, and that's a special attraction here. Here are the top 3 sites in Indiana Dunes National Park. Number 3, the Bailey Homestead, the Choberg Farm, and the Little Calumet River, as well as the Minooq Prairie Trails. That's in an area that's got all kinds of trails. It's got a farm, it's got history, it tells you all about the early settlers here, and it's got a fantastic prairie that you can look at and appreciate the plant life here, as well as oak forest. It is a beautiful area. There are short trails and there are long trails. You can take your pick on what you want to do. It's just a fantastic place, and sometimes you got volunteers cooking up meals, not for you to eat, for them to take home, but if you go to the farmstead, you can smell the wonderful cooking and get an idea of early life is like. Number 2 is Dunes Ridge. Now, Dunes Ridge is a nice short trail over on the northern part of the eastern part of the park, and it is a nice short trail that takes you up a dune and come back down, going through some dense forest where you can look at the birds. And if you come here for the dune, then that's one of the attractions that I think is really well worth the visit and the short hike. Now, from there, you can easily go to the beach. There's a parking area for the trail and the beach, and you can bathrooms and all that services, so you can enjoy your time at the beach as well. So, a wonderful area to visit. The Dunes Ridge Trail, the high point is where there's a bench. We can have a nice overview of the marsh, and then it goes downhill through the woods. There are lots of interesting birds around here, and I can just sit here and watch the birds, and there's lots of different kind of birds here. Very nice. Lake Michigan on the shores. This used to be called the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore. It is now a national park, and this is the main attraction right here. The beach. Miles and miles of beach. The number 1 attraction at Indiana Dunes is the West Beach area. Now, the West Beach area can give you not only the beach that you can enjoy, it's a nice bathhouse with facilities, a huge parking area that you can come, but it's also got a network of trails, basically in 3 loops. If you wanted just a short hike to see the dune and get on top of the dunes, you can take the Dunes Succession Trail. It goes up a bunch of steps and it comes down a bunch of steps, and you get a fantastic view on top and get a nice little workout. After 133 steps, you get this nice view of Lake Michigan. Or you can have 2 loops. You can go on a loop 2, which kind of gets you by Long Lake, one of the lakes that is like a marshland with lots of wild birds. And if you really want to have an extended hike, you can have loop 3, and the entire 3-loop combination is a little over 3 miles, so it's not that bad. Now, there are some elevation changes that goes up and down, and there's some sandy areas, and you go through some woods with hard-packed dirt, so it is probably more strenuous than a typical 3-mile trail, but it is nonetheless a very nice walk. You can take your pick. At the West Beach area, go swimming, short trail, medium trail, long trail, take your pick. It's fantastic. Towards the end of the long lake trail, the outer loop, loop 3, you climb, walk into the woods. You say, oh man, when is this trail going to end? You're climbing up this big hill, and all of a sudden you see this beautiful view. And best yet, You see the parking lot, so you know you're getting close. But this is what you see. Lake Michigan, the sand dunes, the trees. So beautiful. The Dune Succession Trail starts off in that parking lot over there. And you walk along that paved road over to the bathhouse. And from the bathhouse, you walk along the beach for a little bit, and then you climb up this dune area. And you go up steps. After you get 133 steps, you see a beautiful view of Lake Michigan. And you go down a little bit into the woods. Then you go up another 102 steps. You get to this view right here. And we're not really sure that off in the distance whether or not that's Chicago or some oil refinery. But it could be Chicago. We don't know. Supposedly you can see Chicago on a clear day. Today it's not that very clear. But nonetheless, it's possible. If you know whether or not that's Chicago, leave a comment below. Let me know. Alright, here's a pro tip for you. In parts of the trail here, Indiana Dunes, because it's a dune, it's going to be sandy. Now, if it's sandy, that means your footing is not as good and it's really hard to climb up. And it's very nice for them to give you the steps, but be prepared to exert more than a normal trail that you'll be on. So, hiking poles can help. Good boots can help. So enjoy. Well, walking in sand is definitely different than walking on packed dirt. And man, looks like I'm gonna have to go up that thing. That's gonna be hard. But not for the faint of heart. There are 4 seasons here in Indiana. We're here in the fall season, and you can see behind me the leaves are beginning to turn color. The peak season is probably another week or 2 away. But in the winter time, people can come and do cross-country skiing in a lot of different trails here in the park. Of course, summertime, you have a lot of swimming on the beach. And in the springtime, there are wildflowers in many of these places that you can do, especially on the prairies. So it's a 4-season park that you can come and enjoy. This national park is actually not contiguous. The Lakeshore National Park boundary is separated by a state park, which has the tallest 3 dunes on the lakeshore, and a port. So you got to have your shore interrupted by these things, but it's 20-something miles long stretch right on Lake Michigan. Here's a pro tip. When you go on the Dune Succession Trail, if you want to start off with a bunch of steps, go counterclockwise over to the right from the parking lot. If you want the nice flat trail and see the Lake Michigan first, go to the left on the paved path. So if you want to start out with lots of steps and then go down fairly gradually down to the beach and Lake Michigan and turn around, you start to the right, counterclockwise. Indiana Dunes National Park is a wonderful addition to the flagship national parks. If you plan on spending some time at the beach and you want to go to do some hiking, you probably need 3 days to visit this park. If you want to do some hiking in the national park and to do the Indiana Dunes State Park where the tallest peaks of the dunes are, you also probably need 3 days. This is a very busy area with lots of services, hotel, restaurants, etc. nearby. All in all, it was a wonderful visit for us. We are on our way to visit all the national parks in the United States. Follow along by hitting the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell so you know when a new video is released. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and please share it with everybody that you know.